Hello, this is Razrai, an autistic virtual YouTuber from Malaysia. So, here's the day. The very first Go Relay concert. I would say that this is the very first concert of its own kind. I expect to be last for 1 hour. So I have a set playlist for it, but set list, I won't show it to you. This is just running at the background. And then, so without ado, let's start with the very first track, Dancehall Diplomacy. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. Let's start the performance. Okay, that's it for the first track. So this piece of music is one of the two music tracks that I was previously intended to showcase during a planned debut stream, but due to internet issues at the time, I had to cancel it and replace it with the live composition session, which doesn't run well at that because I'm stuck with using 4G LTE router, which doesn't provide consistent speed, and there's a lot of issues with frame drops and all that. But now that I have decent internet, I would say that it's a good thing that this kind of event can be, and other game streams are a lot more possible. And whereas as for the other one, I decided to shelve it for reasons that I'm not really want to disclose. So anyway, let's move on to the second track, Funeral of Sacrifice Heroes. So let me adjust the pages. Okay, so without ado, let's start the track. So that's it for Funeral of Sacrifice Heroes. So I actually had completed it back during March, but the problem with releasing that track is that that month is also the month where people remembering the Lahat Datu incident, and releasing this kind of music at such a time, I would say it's kind of insensitive, and I decided to compose something else and then delay the release of this piece of music until April to, keep things lowbrow. And now let's move on to the third track, Urban Apathy, which is just released yesterday. So I'm going to adjust the zoom for a bit. Maybe I'll just go for one page instead for better view. So without ado, let's start the performance. Okay, that's it for Urban Apathy, which has been premiered yesterday. So regarding this track, when I compose this particular music, it gives off a bit of being, carefree, don't give a crap, whatever, and it gives off a bit of like urban pop-ish kind of feel. So combine these two, then I get urban apathy, and I would say that this is one of the few pieces of music that I have composed, even considering the ones that I have made before becoming a VTuber that has a very urban and hip feel. I'm not sure if I am able to create this kind of music again, but if the melody suddenly comes to my mind, I'm definitely trying to make a proper piece of music out of it. So now on to the next track, which is Welcome to the Afterlife. So I'm going to make the notes clearer, and with that, let's start the song. Not song. Let's start the music. Okay, that's it for Welcome to the Afterlife. So, as for this track, you know, when I was composing this music, it feels like there's a lot of past being, being ignored, being forgotten. It's like you are entering into a new clean state, something that is associated with the afterlife. So that's how the title come to be. And then there's also the fact that when I compose this song, imagery of being greeted and being told that you have died comes to life. So it's kind of one of the sadder music that I have composed. So that's it for the talk. Now let's go for the next track. Straight forwards. So I'll adjust the. Okay, let me adjust this. So without now, let's start this music straight forwards. Okay, that's it for stride forwards. So I'm going to adjust the zoom levels first. Oops. Seems like this will be one bar that cannot be displayed properly. It's kind of unfortunate. So as for this track, there's not much to talk about this. I would say that this is one of the very few fast-paced stuff. In fact, when it comes to this kind of track, normally I will set the BPM double the BPM, but when I actually test the beat out using BPM detection software, it does show up as 190, so I decided to compose it that way. And also, you know, the music is kind of like having some degree of positivity and giving a feel like, you know, rushing forward and all that. So yeah, that's how the title Stride Forwards come to be. So let's move on to the next title. Yeah, by the way, this track is being made before the default font for the scores being updated. Well, I might as well save it in the new font. So now on to the next track, which is Furige mo Tanoshi. So let me adjust the zoom levels. Okay. Let's start this track. That's it for free game mode Tanoshi. So let's adjust it back to the normal. Yep, a 3-page view. So listening to this reminded me back, when I was just being a VTuber for the early days of my VTubing activities. I actually have consulted other VTubers over Discord about viability of streaming games, and it turned out that the only option that I have is to stream lower games that can be played on lower end PCs without trouble, and my only option is freeware Japanese games, which I actually used to play back during somewhere around 2008-2009 when I discovered a very old website called stg.liarsoft.org. So I'm going to drop a link for that. I wondered if that site is still exists. Let me check it out. Yep, it still exists. Man, that's like what, 12 to 13 years? By the way, it is a Japanese site, so I have dropped a link for the website. It's pretty much a something like a news link site where you can see all the news regarding to shooting games. And by the way, a lot of them have to be paid upfront. It's just that I happen to stumble quite a few freeware shoot them up games that happen to be hosted on free, so I kind of got hooked. But then again, after that, after a month or two, I have discovered Niwain Senpai, Shanko Senpai, Oshaberi Daisy, and all that, and also a few game creators such as Sakamoto Tomat, and after that there's RTT, then there's also Gote, coming and watch I stream their games. I'm really happy to be part of the Japanese freeware game community despite being just a foreigner who only knows gaming, use Japanese at that. But I feel really welcome them, and I composed this to show my appreciation to the scene. And that's also the main reason why I chose to release this in the public domain, so that you don't need to be, let's say, the game developers want to use it for their games, they can use it without any sort of repercussions. That's a lot. I have thought a lot. So that's it for free game mode Tanoshi. Let's go to the next track, which is Chains of Generations. Wait, no, not that one. I got the title wrong. It should be, whoops, that's all. Let me double check. Did I got the Hmm. Wait. Chains of yeah, it should be chains of generations or oops. Never mind. Man, that sucks. Seems like I didn't save the score. Never mind. So let's go move on to the next track. I'm sorry about this issue. So let's move on to the next one. Keep the peace, cause getting it is hard. Hopefully this won't go wrong this time. Yep. So let me adjust the zoom. I wonder how I'm supposed to be able to upload the music in the first place if the score isn't complete. But never mind. Let's without ado, let's continue with this track. pressed the wrong button. And that's it for that's it for keep the peace, cause getting it is hard. So as for this, because Chains of Generations is the very first track that I have submitted to VTB Weekly. That was during week 38. So when week 39 rolls, I have issues with filling the form because of the comma in the title. So I ended up skip the week, and then when week 40 comes up, I also skip over that track and submitted another one. And as for this track, however, well, how should I put it? When I compose this music, it gives off something like, this isn't easy and enjoy it, but remember, it's not something easy, and if it's lost, getting it back would be a lot harder. It's something like it's being played for, say, memorial of a post-war situation, or maybe something like an independence anthem or something like that. That's why it gets the name. So we have, it's 54. So there will be 2 more. The next one would be Warcry of Dragonslayers. So let's I adjust the width so that you can look clearly at the notes. So without ado, let's enjoy this piece of music. Okay, that's it for Warcry of Dragonslayers. So this track is interesting because I composed this before I become a VTuber, and in fact it's one of the tracks that I would say I first composed this track after I watched Mori Calliope streaming her performance of Recorder. It's kind of impressive that someone with such a huge following chooses this instrument. So I thought like, well, if she has the guts to do it, I may as well as trying to pick up the recorded music composition again. But unfortunately, during the music composition progress, there is one part that I couldn't properly write the notes for it. Let me check. Where is the position? Let's see. Not here. So wait. Yep. This part, I got stumped at this part, and it got so serious that it took me about almost half a year to properly to fix this issue and complete the composition. And that is one aspect of it. The other one is that when when the melody started to appear in my head, started playing in my head, the imagery is like a bunch of soldiers for some reason wielding shines. Maybe because the inspiration that comes from watching Kelly playing the recorder live, go and battle against dragons. So that's how the title came to be. Well, I think there's no one watching, only one person watching live, but regardless whether you are watching live or watching the archives, please don't tell her. This is just me expressing myself. I don't want to bring any unwanted attention on me. So, yep, it's one hour has passed, huh? So let's go for the last one. The title is Pledge, and I haven't released this piece of music yet, and I had quite some difficulties working on this track, but fortunately I have managed to finish this for this score relay concert. So let's enjoy this final track. Okay, that's it for pledge. So actually the initial melody for this have been made back in March, late March, when just a few days after Dance for Diplomacy was showcased in ASCII's event, the 72-hour event, Don't Stop the Music 3. But I hesitated to complete the music and release it partially because I couldn't, because initially it was supposed to be two separate music, and after some deliberation I decided to make them just one. And also when I watched my music being featured at such a large stage, I actually feel happy. When I submit the music, I thought like, just because I can pull that off, submitting just a score music to VTV might not guarantee that my music will be accepted for ASCII's Don't Stop the Music 3, considering it's a huge event and showcases music from the top tier artists in the virtual musician scene, including people from Hololive, Niji Sanji, and big name independents. At that time I only have 40 plus subs. I don't know if, and I'm not sure if the curation process would disqualify me and sort. But when the lineup was announced, I saw my picture in that huge lineup picture. I was like, whoa, that's really great. And then I was like, the anxiety over when is my song's turn come up, I want to react, it's kind of tense. And my music ended up being featured as one of the last 30 tracks, which certainly raises some tension. And also when it showed up, initially there was, I actually watched the chat at the time. It was like, huh? And certainly rightfully so, because score videos isn't exactly a common music video format. But then as the music progresses, the reaction become more of a impress, and I actually got some subs from it. It almost doubles, but some of them did unsub, which is understandable. And then after that, I actually had listened to Towa's palette during that stream. Then a couple days after, I heard it again when I came to work, and then I realized that being featured in that event is not a badge of honor that you wear on the sleeve on your chest all of the time, but it's actually a pledge to ASCII herself and also the live audiences at that time that I will keep on making music So that's why I'm really not sure whether I can keep up that pledge at the time. So I continue to make music and submit them to VTV. And now that I have made a lot, and with enough buffer for me to stop composing for like 2 months, if something emergency happens that prevent me from making music, or maybe my creative drive suddenly went down, hopefully this won't be the case. In fact, I'm currently still actively composing new music, even though it's kind of getting stumpy-ish, but I have other melodies, unworked melodies that I can work upon. I think at this point I have upheld my pledge, and I'm ready to release this music, officially release this music as music premiere, maybe somewhere late June. And again, please don't tell Toa or ASCII about this. This is just a matter of self-expression. So that's it for today's concert. Thank you for watching, even though it's just one person watching live. By the way, the archive will be up, but I won't be updating the timestamps until pledge has been premiered, which is somewhere around late June, for consistency's sake. Tomorrow I will be starting the streaming of 6 selected titles from the second Sinjin Free Gamer contest store. The first of which will be streamed tomorrow. The title is High Temp Dungeon RTA. High Temp is a short for High Tempo. So that game will be streamed at 8:30 PM. Yep, keep in mind I'm doing this earlier than the usual, because tomorrow is actually public holiday in Malaysia, the birthday of our Agong, so I can afford to do that. 8:30 PM UTC plus 8, that's 9:30 PM Japan time. Please keep this in mind. The stream time has been made earlier for tomorrow, so hopefully I can beat Niwarin Senpai's record of 40.02 seconds, but I don't think that's likely to happen anyway. Let's see what happens. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.